This is a 1990 Toyota four-wheel drive, 5-speed transmission, 22 RE engine. Today we're going to discuss the problem of your truck either not able to go into gear or your truck not able to come out of gear with the clutch. A few troubleshooting tips. If your truck is not able to come out of gear or very difficult to put in gear, one thing you should look at is your clutch master cylinder and slave cylinder. Check them to see if they're leaking any fluid. You can see this under the hood for the master cylinder on the clutch. You'll have to get under the truck to be able to see the slave cylinder on the truck. And then also look inside your cab where your pedals are to see if there's any leaking. If there is any leaking, it's likely you need to replace that part, meaning either the master cylinder or the slave cylinder on the clutch. Another thing to check is something that most people don't check, but on these older trucks you may need to start to check. And that is the clutch brake assembly bracket. This is a bracket that bolts up against the firewall, and it's actually a bracket that has pedals on it. Because these trucks are a little bit older, this bracket may start to break in different places. This particular bracket you see here, it has broken in this place right here. You can see that it's broken. And what it caused was it prevented the truck from actually going into gear. You can see that there, because the assembly would bend forward and just not allow the clutch to depress that push pin into the master cylinder. There's a better view, you can see it right through here. So the fix for this is to either buy one of these at a wrecking yard or buy a new one like I did. Because a lot of them that I seen were rusty, I decided not to take a chance on it since I'm taking everything apart. And I went ahead and bought a new one from the dealer. These run about $220 from the dealer. From a salvage yard, they're going about $75 as of the date of this video. Discuss how to remove this bracket. The easiest way to remove this bracket is not to go under where the pedals are at and start unscrewing and unbolting things. The easiest way to do it is in this progression. Number one, remove the plastic cover from around your steering wheel. After you get that off, you'll see two bolts exposed that look like they support the steering wheel. And well, actually they kind of do support it, but it's not the only thing that supports it. So remove those two bolts. The third thing that you'll see is a bracket that actually covers another nut. And you want to remove that bracket, and then you'll see the two nuts. As soon as you remove those two nuts, then your steering wheel will come down. You might want to turn the steering wheel to where the U-joint on the steering wheel will allow it to come down easily and not like flop to one side or the other. After that is done, at the bottom of the steering wheel, there will be at the bottom of the steering wheel, you will see the U-joint and this part right here. What you want to do basically is undo the bolt that goes inside of here, and then after you loosen it a lot or take it out, you can pull the steering wheel out. You may have to put a screwdriver between this little gap right here to open it up a little bit. Then this entire assembly will come right off, the whole steering wheel assembly. Electrical brackets that you need to undo. Here the two are here, and then this third one down here. The way to take these off is you depress the little button that you see sticking up there. This one right here, you will depress it or press it down, and then just you need to pull it apart. The other thing also is the covering under here, of course, that you'll have to take off to get to it. And then also you can take off this air duct right here that is mounted right about here. You'll have to undo this or just take it off also. It'll slip right apart. You can see here where the steering wheel was there. One thing you want to do is measure or put a mark on where the steering wheel was lined up on here. It looks like this has a flat part of it, so you may not need to do that, but I would make a mark just in case. There's also 4 screws up here. There's a screw here, and know that there's one screw that goes straight up here. It's a smaller screw, and or bolt, and it goes straight up here, and you can't see it unless you push back totally down and put your head down in here to be able to see it. Very hard to find it, but I'm sure you'll find it if you take it out, because it won't come out unless you find it and take it out. So that's a quick demo of my finding here. Hopefully I've saved you some time. It cost me a lot of time. I asked a local shop to fix it, and they ended up replacing the master and slave cylinder when it was not needed. And then fortunately they gave me my money back when I told them what the problem was that I found. Anyways, happy driving.